Oh man, this is embarrassing. I was wrong about the security vulnerabilities Apple fixed this week being under active exploit. Turns out at least one of them may have been. For iOS and iPadOS 26.3, at least one of the security notes says an attacker with memory write capability may be able to execute arbitrary code. Apple is aware of a report that this issue may have been exploited in an extremely sophisticated attack against specific targeted individuals on versions of iOS before iOS 26. Yeah, I know they're not talking about you, but come on, update your stuff. And sorry for getting it wrong about the active exploit.
This is Mac OS Ken.
Evercore stays positive on Apple. Investors pull a lot off the table. And celebrating Apple at 50. It is Friday, the 13th of February, 2026. I'm a guy with a butcher knife, and this is news from Mac OS Ken. Brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for growing your presence online. Get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with offer code MacOSCan at squarespace.com/MacOSCan. This show is also sponsored by NordLayer, working to secure your network and block threats to your business. Nord's been a name you've trusted for years, thanks to their consumer VPN. Now they're bringing that trust to your business, combining VPN, access control, and threat protection in one easy-to-use platform. No new hardware, no huge setup, just secure connection and full control in no time. They've partnered with CrowdStrike to bring Falcon endpoint protection to small and mid-sized business. That is your business, getting enterprise-grade security that is still easy to deploy and manage. Not that you're doing it yourself. NordLayer includes step-by-step onboarding and 24/7 support. They've got special rates for teams with 100 seats or more, or get going with just a few users for $8 per seat per month. Yeah, those are good deals, but they have a better one for you. Get up to 22% off NordLayer yearly plans, plus 10% on top of that, with offer code MacOSCan-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSCan. Try it risk-free with their 14-day money-back guarantee. Whatever the size of your business, NordLayer is ready to meet your security needs. Get up to 22% off their yearly plans, plus 10% on top with offer code MacOSCan-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSCan. NordLayer. Toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code MacOSCan-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/MacOSCan. Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani is aware of the Bloomberg story that the smarter Siri expected this spring may either be spread out or pushed back. Expected by many in iOS 26.4, which should be out in about a month or so. Secret sources tell Bloomberg's Mark Gurman that Apple is now working to spread anticipated smarter features out over future versions. That would mean possibly postponing some features until at least iOS 26.5, due in May, and iOS 27, which comes out in September. Evercore analyst Amit Daryanani has heard that. While it would not be accurate to say that he doesn't care, he's apparently not overly concerned. Apple 3.0 posted a note he wrote either late Wednesday or early Thursday. NetNet says the note, Apple is likely to delay the expected March launch of Apple Intelligence 2.0 given recent headwinds during testing, expect a multi-phase release of Apple's new AI features this year, with the potential for new or upgraded Apple Intelligence features mid-year, and then a complete overhaul of Siri this fall. Privacy appears to be paramount, with Apple prioritizing data protection along with seamless integration before launching the upgrades. With that, he maintained his firm's outperform rating on Apple shares. He also kept his price target at $330. While Evercore's Darian Nani is not the only one sticking with Apple, a chunk of investment dollars went for the exit on Thursday. A piece from CNBC Thursday afternoon had ticker symbol AAPL wrapping its worst day on the stock market since April of 2025 after reports surfaced about delays with Siri and as the company's news app faced regulatory scrutiny. Shares dropped 5% on Thursday, or $13.77, ending the day at $261.73. That wiped out share gains for the year, according to the piece, leaving it down almost 4% in 2026. CNBC thinks two factors tanked the stock Thursday: the smarter Siri delay and that letter from Federal Trade Commission Chairman Andrew Ferguson. That's the one I told you about Thursday that had the FTC chief encouraging Apple CEO Tim Cook to look into how stories are picked for Apple News. Specifically, he is said to wonder whether above-the-fold slots in Apple News favor sources that lean to the left and bury sources from the right. I ran those two possibilities past financial analyst Rob Black, asking whether there was something else that we were missing. About the only other thing he saw was mediocre guidance from Cisco tied to the high price of DRAM. CNBC did have one more thing to throw into the mix. On Tuesday, the site says, UBS downgraded the U.S. tech sector to neutral, citing software uncertainty and heavy capital expenditure. That followed a sell-off in software stocks over the past week as investors turned cautious toward the sector. Yeah, okay, but nearly 14 points in one day. My gut, which should not be relied upon for anything, my gut says it was Siri in the FTC letter, with the rest adding wobble. Not that it matters. One day's trading does not a trend make. You know that thing where Apple, Google, and Meta were maybe asked, maybe persuaded to take down apps and groups related to ICE activity? The people who did the asking or persuading are being sued. Oh, not by the tech giants, but by the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, soon to be better known as FIRE. Apple Insider says FIRE has filed a suit against Attorney General Pam Bondi and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. The org is acting on behalf of Kay Rosado, who started a Facebook group to keep records of ICE activity, and Mark Hodges, who built an app called Eyes Up to do the same thing. According to Apple Insider, the filing alleges that Bondi and Noem have sought to coerce big tech companies such as Apple, Google, and Meta into censoring apps and social media groups dedicated to monitoring and reporting ICE activity. In a blog post about the suit, FIRE said, "The right to share information about our government is essential to a free society. If someone goes out and commits a crime, they can and should be punished for their actions. But in a free society, we don't punish protected speech." More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for growing your presence online. That is you making waves for you, not clicks for Faceplant or Tweedles or whatever the next big lemming network turns out to be. I'm talking about a site that is truly yours, not a tiny corner of a hate machine. Squarespace makes making your site easy. Use their library of professionally designed and award-winning templates, or start with Blueprint AI, a Squarespace tool to give you a custom website in just a few steps. From there, you can promote an existing business with tools to help your site get noticed, ship physical products with included tools to automatically calculate costs, or set up online presentations. Great for everything from one-time seminars to ongoing classes, free or paid, or free and paid. Whether you're looking to sell services, songs, or physical stuff, Squarespace has a range of tools to help you do it. Head to squarespace.com/macOSKen for a free trial. Then when you're ready to launch, use offer code macOSKen to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Build the site you need with Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com/macOSKen for a free trial. Then use offer code macOSKen for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace, the all-in-one platform for growing your presence online. Get started today at squarespace.com/macOSKen. If you got anything to pick up at the Apple Passeig de Gràcia store in Barcelona, Spain, you'll want to do that by tomorrow. A piece from Mac Rumors says that store is closing for unspecified improvements for an unspecified amount of time. Could be back-of-house stuff, could be a whole facelift. We'll find out. Eventually, the store's downtime starts tomorrow, Saturday the 14th of February at 8 p.m. local. Media providers giveth and media providers taketh away this week from Apple Vision Pro. Well, from and for it. Yeah, it's a two-way street. We'll start with what's being pulled back. Upload VR ran a piece Wednesday that had Disney Plus pulling Dolby Vision and 3D titles in several European countries. The report says premium subscribers usually get 4K UHD, HDR10, and Dolby Vision content when the content supports it. Premium also includes a selection of 3D movies from Apple Vision Pro, including the Avatar movies, Marvel's Avengers movies, and several titles from Star Wars. The whole thing was done quietly, according to Upload VR. That made me wonder whether it was just a glitch and the content would be back. Kinda looks like not though, or not anytime soon anyway. Support pages for Germany, France, Italy, and the UK have apparently scrubbed mentions of Dolby Vision support. As for 3D, Upload VR says in Germany and France, a notice states that 3D is currently unavailable. No such notice appears on the Italian support page. In the UK, meanwhile, 3D content remains listed as supported. Still feels kind of glitchy. The site says references to Dolby Vision have also been removed from the Disney Plus support page in the US, though everything seems to be working as it was. An official statement from Disney Plus to the site Flat Panels HD blames technical challenges. That said, there seems to be some sort of fight in Germany over whether Disney Plus has the legal right to stream HDR in that country. That could affect the Dolby Vision and 3D offerings, could prompt the pulling of such content from other EU storefronts as well. Doesn't explain the change on the US support page, though. Unless that was just a copy-paste thing. As for what was added, just over 2 years after the launch of Apple's spatial computing headset, it has gotten an official app from YouTube. Mac Rumors had the Alphabet subsidiary launching its Apple Vision Pro app on Thursday, letting users watch videos on a theater-sized screen with immersive Vision OS environments. That includes support for standard videos, 180-degree and 360-degree videos, and 3D videos. There's even support for 8K videos, though. That requires an M5 Apple Vision Pro. The YouTube app is free. It's available now in the App Store for Vision OS. And finally today, a Computer History Museum presentation, 50 years in the making. The Silicon Valley Museum is celebrating Apple's 50th anniversary with a series of events, with the first two hitting in just under a month. From the 11th of March through the 7th of September, the CHM is hosting an Apple at 50 exhibit. The museum's blurb encourages users to see rare prototypes of some of the most iconic Apple products, including the Apple I, Apple IIc, Lisa, Macintosh, Newton, iPod, and iPhone. Learn about the founding of Apple and how Apple's products have continued to push boundaries throughout its history. That opening night will also play host to an Apple at 50 event. The site says this special CHM Live evening will celebrate Apple's first half-century, featuring a conversation with leaders who helped guide the company through pivotal moments of reinvention, growth, and global impact. The Computer History Museum is located in Mountain View, California. Tickets and registration for the various events can be found at the museum site, computerhistory.org. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and sponsored by NordLayer, toggle-ready network security built for your business. Get savings on top of savings with offer code macOSKen-10-NordLayer at nordlayer.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Squarespace. Get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain with offer code macOSKen at squarespace.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can find me on Mastodon, macOSKen at mastodon.social. You can also send me an email, info@macOSKen.com. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.